Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel, where today I'm going to be discussing the first of 5 videos about my first European trip that I did solo. So my first solo trip I did to Europe on my own was back in March 2019, and I decided to visit Disneyland Paris. Now, I know a lot of people think it's quite strange to go to Disneyland on your own. It's somewhere you go with your friends, with your family, or if you were in a relationship, it's somewhere you'd go with your partner. But I'd actually been through quite a stressful 2018, a lot of personal changes in my life, and I'd been through a lot of ups and downs, so I wanted to do something for myself, and Disneyland Paris has been on my bucket list for so long, and I was like, you know what, go on your own, you'll be fine. Obviously, because I live in Kingston, which is part of London, it's easy to get to. I could have either flown or obviously got the Eurostar, which I'll get to in a bit. I went for 3 nights and 4 days. I think I left on a Thursday and I came back on the Sunday, and for me it was the perfect amount of time to be at Disney on my own. I managed to get everything I wanted to do done, and I just had a wonderful time. But without further ado, in this video today, I'm just going to be discussing my travel and accommodation and how all of that went and how I felt about travelling on my own for the first time in a European country. So let's get straight into it. So the website I used to book my Disney hotel was the official Walt Disney Travel Company website, where you can also book holidays on the Disney cruises and also to Disneyland in Florida. But obviously I used that for Paris, and you had the option to self-drive if you could drive. So obviously, by process of elimination, and because I can't drive, we could eliminate that straight away. Or you had the options of flights or Eurostar, purely based on the fact I hadn't really been on a plane that many times before and I was going on my own. I felt more confident to go for the Eurostar option because I'm quite used to changing over with trains and figuring out train maps and where I was going. So we went for that, which in turn was actually quite good, as the day I went, which was the Thursday, was the day the direct Disney train didn't run, so I had to get the Eurostar to Lille and then transfer at Lille onto a train to Disneyland, and that all went pretty straightforward. The Eurostar check-in, where obviously you go through security, they check your passport and your luggage, that all went pretty swimmingly, no real issues there, and the train wasn't delayed or cancelled going to Lille, so that was great. And then when I got to Lille, the changeover was nice and quick and easy again, no real delays or cancellations once I'd figured out what platform I was on and what platform I needed to get to. And then the train literally drops you off on the doorstep of Disneyland, and when I say doorstep, I really literally mean doorstep. It's like you exit the train station and the parks are there, which was great. Obviously, on my way home, sometimes a journey when you're going goes great, and then when you have to leave, it can go really bad, but luck was on my side, as my journey home, again changing at Lille, going through all the security, passport to get back on the Eurostar back to London, all went fine. No delays or cancellations again, which meant, I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure we got back to London earlier than the actual estimated time of the journey, so I made up time, which was great. No delays or cancellations, and I got home earlier than I expected. So on the basis of the travel, it was a great start. So my next port of call, as soon as I was off that train, was not to drag my suitcase into the parks and go absolutely wild. It was to obviously go and check into my hotel that I was staying on site. I stayed at the Santa Fe Hotel, which is the cheapest hotel on resort, I think, but just because it's the cheapest doesn't mean it's awful. It was actually really nice and I loved my stay. My funny little story, well, it's not really funny, I found it funny at the time, but other people probably wouldn't. In my excitement as I got off the train, I completely ignored the fact that there were shuttle buses running to and from the hotel, and I ended up doing the full 20-minute walk, lugging my suitcase to the hotel. Just purely, I was in my own world. I couldn't believe I was at Disney. It was like the kid inside me had just suddenly resurrected from nowhere. But you know what? I actually enjoyed the walk so much that once I had literally dumped my suitcase in the room, I left straight away to go to the park. I didn't wait for the shuttle bus again. I walked back to the park. So in like the first hour I was there, I'd done about 40 minutes of walking before even getting inside the parks. The room I was in was lovely. It overlooked like a little stream or river outside the back of the block of hotel rooms I was in, and it was a nice big site. The hotel staff at check-in was so lovely, and they had a lot of time to have a conversation with me, to which they learned that it was my first trip and my first visit to Disney, so they were really sweet and gave me loads of Mickey chocolate coins that I could eat in my room, which I did enjoy when I came back in the evening after a long day at the park. So to recap, the travel had gone well and the hotel check-in had gone well. So going back to the subject of shuttle buses, I did eventually use them for the rest of the holiday, just because I had extra magic hours and I had a few things booked in the morning, so I needed to get to the park as quick as I could, but more about that in another video. When I did eventually use the shuttle buses, they ran really regularly, so it didn't really feel like you were missing out on much time at the park, and you also didn't really feel like you were waiting around to leave the park at the end of the day. And they all ran really regularly, and yeah, it just basically felt like time wasn't wasted either inside or outside of the park. Obviously there's a lot of on-site eateries in the Disney Village, so a lot of the time before I would get the shuttle bus back, I would go and have my food. So again, the shuttle buses run quite late, I think. I don't think they're 24-hour services, but I may be wrong. But definitely when I was staying quite late to eat and have a wander around the village, a shuttle bus was still running to take me back to the hotel, which was another added bonus. So the holiday went by really, really quickly, and then it got to my last day. And obviously I still had extra magic hours that I could use. So once I'd packed up my suitcase, and I think my train home was about 3 in the afternoon, so I had actually quite a lot of time to kill before I needed to think about sitting at the train station, because I just didn't want to sit around thinking, oh yeah, I'm leaving today. I wanted to make the most of the last few hours inside the park, so I used the hotel's brilliant luggage service facility, which is just basically a luggage storage room at the hotel where you can leave your suitcase to go back into the park for the last few hours, and then I just jumped back on the shuttle bus to pick up my case to go back and get my train home. So overall, I think the luggage service is brilliant, as again, you can make the most of the last few hours. Even if you only had 2 or 3 hours left at Disney, it's a nice quick service where you literally just can leave your case, go for 1 or 2 last rides on your favourite attractions in either one of the parks, and then go back and get your suitcase and make your journey home. So that was just a really quick first video about my European holiday to Disneyland Paris on my own back in 2019. I have got a few more videos lined up that link in with Disney. I'm going to be talking about my favourite attractions, ranking the roller coasters, reasons why I want to go back, and also some of the special experiences you can get at the Disney park. So if you did enjoy this video, please do like, leave a comment down below about where you stayed if you've ever gone to Disney, or where you would like to stay, and how you would travel there, whether you'd get the Eurostar, whether you drive, or whether you'd give flying a go, which I think is probably what I'm going to do next. Also, if you're new and you haven't yet already, do go and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it, and I've got a lot of varied content coming up soon despite being stuck in lockdown. So I'm also really sorry if I've droned on at all during this. I just thought it would be a nice little starter video for my mini series about my trip to Disney, as I haven't really spoken about it on camera or on social media at all. So I thought it would be something new to talk about. So for now, I have been Lou, and I will see you in the next video.